But you talk a lot about drugs in your music.
Yeah, because I feel like that's the #1 thing everybody like to talk about. It's the #1 seller.
Substance abuse used to be something artists talked about as a warning, a cautionary tale, and now it's used as a selling point and a marketing tool.
Same time I drop my album, I post like a double cup, post a handful of pills, like to do stuff like that.
Being a junkie has officially become cool.
Now,
Percocet, you want one?
no.
Oh, you don't do perks?
No, I don't personally.
Fans literally bring codeine bottles to shows for their favorite artists to sign, like it's merch. It's become a joke and somehow at the same time a symbol of status.
It's like, it'll be 1 month, I spend $150 on Serve, $150,000, $200,000 on Serve. I spent 200 bands on drink.
It's no secret that a lot of kids have seen the stuff being pushed by their favorite rapper and decided to try it. How many rappers have cited Future as the reason for trying lean?
When I heard Future, the first song I ever heard by Future was Ain't No Way Around It. The second song I've ever heard by Future, Dirty Sprite. And that shit had me wanting to sip lean at like 11, 12 years old, bro.
I drank lean with Future. He one of the biggest in our generation of influencing lean, and him and Lil Wayne and Gucci.
Cause I remember this one time I told Future, and it was like in a room full of people too. I'm like, you the reason I do that? He was like, like he got sad. I told him he the reason I started doing some type of like drug, like.
But when he and others are asked about their influence on the youth, it's the same dismissive answer every time.
OG Mako has taken issue with Future's music. Here's what he tweeted. He said, I love Future, but I also understand Future has destroyed countless lives by making it cool to be a drug addict. 56 Zans ain't cool.
56 Zans ain't cool?
Yeah, what do you say to that? That drug culture's been promoted through the music and that's not good for the young people.
He need to rap about whatever he rap about. He need to get out there and start rapping church Bible verses. And then he won't have an opinion on hip hop.
If you knew that the music did make somebody do drugs, would you still make music?
OG Mako, he gonna have to respond. He gonna have to see me about that too though. When I see him, he gotta tell me to my face.
Artists have been doing drugs since the beginning of time, but they weren't flaunting it for all of us to see. Somewhere along the way, things changed to the point where it's now a core part of how a lot of artists build their entire image and persona, and I'm talking about rappers specifically. Take Lil Wayne for example. He became so synonymous with lean that he was gifted a bedazzled double cup live on television. This is an addictive opioid that has taken the lives of many, and somehow it was celebrated on a show whose audience is mainly young people. And that was back in the early 2010s, so things have only gotten worse since then. A$AP Rocky dropped Purple Swag in 2011, and the whole of A$AP at that time was heavily on syrup. Rocky would even brag about them being the first in Harlem doing lean in interviews.
Drugs have always played a part in the A$AP. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Purple Swag. We was talking about lean. We was talking about weed.
That same year in 2011, Future dropped Tony Montana and Dirty Sprite, which is really when he first blew up into the mainstream.
I remember being so down this because I was in like my mouth I couldn't even open my mouth.
Around that same time, we also had artists like Mac Miller, Travis Scott, Chief Keef, and The Weeknd, whose music had substance abuse as a central theme.
When you make a crowd crazy with slow beats, that's the tempo, man. It's the drugs, man.
They went on to become some of the biggest, most visible artists of the 2010s. So really from there, it was only a matter of time before this spread and became the norm. By 2018, rappers were fully leaning into what I'd call the junkie aesthetic. Lil Pump was making songs about proudly being an addict. In the video, he has Charlie Sheen, a well-known addict, walking through a rehab facility handing out pills. Around the same period, there was this whole wave of artists whose entire gimmick, their whole identity was built around drugs. You had Lil Xan, Lil Peep, Lil Skies, Pump, Smoke Purp, and a bunch of others from that same era.
I stopped doing drugs. But I just realized I'm sipping drink again. Ash, get it!
Going through drugs, overdosing on drugs, kind of just put the icing on the cake.
I haven't even ate breakfast, nigga. I'll pop his hand right now. I'm gonna sit right here.
Sometimes when you're hanging out with guys like Lil Pump and Smoke Perp, you feel very triggered to take Xanax.
You should take Xanax.
Shout out Migos, you know what I'm saying? They brought out culture, but me and Pump bringing out the Xan culture. We bringing Xan culture to album.
You look back at those characters now and realize how lame they were, but you also really can't blame them because this is the stuff they came up seeing. This is the music they came up listening to. What's embarrassing is it wasn't just the young kids who didn't know any better. Young Thug was 29 years old, flexing whippets and other things on social media.
Now, I've seen some rappers recently do some strange stuff with lean. I've seen Thug pour some on a ice cream cone.
Yeah.
21 Savage pour some syrup on his waffles.
Going red on that waffles, man. You know how we rock. Syrup is being poured up in basically every studio clip that gets posted on Instagram. They go out of their way to make the addiction sound cool and desirable. Sauce Walker has actually said in his own words that drinking syrup makes you player.
This shit make niggas that ain't even players. Yeah. And that's what people don't understand about this. Like, that's the difference between beer and champagne. This is a champagne.
What baffles me is they don't even tell the truth about what they're promoting. They'll show you the cup, the pills, they'll show you the lifestyle and show you how cool it looks, but they refuse to speak about the real effects of the decisions they're convincing people to make.
Now the Dirty Sprite, does that make you nervous at all, the drink? That's what had Rick Ross having seizures, that's what had Lil Wayne having seizures.
Just say people have died drinking.
I don't know that.
It had me nervous at times because people talk about it so much.
Right.
So that's the only thing that had me nervous. Besides that, it's good drink to me.
The ones who make it look the most glamorous are almost never the ones who come out afterwards and speak on the real consequences. I've heard so many horror stories about Xanax specifically, both personally and just from doing my own research into it. You hear about people doing the wildest, most out-of-character things, getting themselves into genuinely dangerous situations.
I popped the Xan, I just remember feeling so free, because like that's why people get in so much trouble off Xan, because it really make you, like, you don't think about consequences.
The Xanax turning up, you know, but I was falling asleep on video sets, you know, I was cussing people out randomly, I was doing crazy stuff. Like, I was just like, man, I would wake up, ask my homies, hey man, so what time we gotta shoot this video? And they'd be like, dude, we shot it yesterday. And you know, I'm not ashamed about talking about it, because you know, a lot of our youth is doing that now, thinking it's the cool thing to do.
But you know, I watch my friends like just becoming different people and like doing like 5 bars, 6 bars, you know what I'm saying? Until niggas start having seizures and it's like, okay, well, you about to die. Whereas another one of my boys busting a crib and shot somebody, and now he's about to do, you know, like 20 years or something like that.
It gets even scarier when you talk about coming off it. If you're dependent on Xanax and you try to stop cold turkey without weaning off it properly, your body can react by getting seizures. This is actually what happened to Quentin Miller. He had a seizure while he was driving and it ended up costing him his leg.
Okay, so you're driving your car, then you have a seizure as you're driving?
Yeah, that's what I believe is what happened. Those were my Xanax popping days, man, and I found out later that you can't just go cold turkey off shit like that, you know, because it causes a seizure. So really, I wasn't even on them the day it happened. I had, you know, dramatically dropped on how much I was taking. And
take lean, for example. It's an addictive opioid and it tastes really good, which makes it easy to get caught up with it. But the effects are nowhere near as sweet as the taste.
Like somebody's grabbing your stomach, inside your stomach, and just holding it.
That's how you feel right now?
Right now. I feel like I done got used to it, you know what I mean?
It has them easily irritated, aggressive even. The smallest thing can set them off.
But it get you like drowsy, tired, it get you aggravated, you be mad.
When I was on lean, is that I had a really bad attitude.
Really?
You've probably seen headlines or clips of rappers acting erratic, lashing out at someone for no reason at all. Most of us assume this is how rappers are. They have no respect for anybody and they're entitled. Sure, sometimes that's true, but a lot of the time it's actually the drugs fueling that behavior.
I was on lean. I was sipping so much syrup, bruh. You'll notice, you'll see so many like white styrofoam cups and you'll see so many like Hawaiian Punch bottles in the studio. I was just always irritated. One little thing I didn't like when Torre said what he said about, you know, and that was a joke too, come to find out. And I was like, what, Nick? Wait, what?
Disrespectful ass, stupid ass questions. That's real talk. You got a problem when you can holler at me, bro.
Hold on.
That's real. That's real talk. Real serious, nigga. It ain't no problem, bro. It ain't for real, man. Yeah, you did get serious. You try to test my homeboy, bro. It ain't no joking, my nigga. Serious about this, man.
For all the rapping that's being done about syrup, all these songs, all these bars about sipping and pouring up, I find it hilarious. Nobody has ever written a single line about how bad the constipation is.
They got a lot of you sip so much, every time you shit, you just gonna shit out a pebble because the codeine got around your liver and it hardened up your liver and shit.
Yo, when I was constipated from drinking lean, my friend Snaggy told me a secret. I put my finger up my butt and I just scooped it out because it wouldn't come out.
You're lying.
So all my life I did. I swear to God. That's how constipated I got. I was shooting pebbles. I had to finger myself to get it out.
We've all seen the lean gut, the stomach that looks swollen that a lot of these artists develop over time. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is the liver and kidney failure, the overall organ damage they experience.
You had cardiac issues. You ended up in the ICU.
I was taking perks and Adderalls for like 6 years. They said they had to inject me with some shit, my heart and this and that. Yeah, I almost lost it.
Yeah, you almost died.
Yeah.
More often than not, it takes something drastic to actually get through to them. Usually it's ended up in the hospital or being forced into treatment, and this happens a lot more often than people realize. Behind the scenes, they quietly go through rehab stints and hospital stays that never make headlines. Their teams work hard to keep it out of the public eye. In 2019, both Gunna and Young Thug suffered from kidney and liver failure.
You know, you said in the song that you were in the hospital, kidney failures and all of that.
Yes.
So health-wise, how are you taking care of yourself or doing anything differently now?
Drinking water.
I'm drinking water. What's in the other cup though, Gunna?
That's number some soda.
They had to get me out of the bed, basically. I felt like my whole body was numb and I couldn't move. I went to the hospital and I had found out that I had liver and kidney failure. And I kind of had sort of passed away, like I kind of died. I was in the hospital for like 17 days. I left the hospital, my mom didn't trust it. So I left the hospital, we went to another hospital. It was like, man, you got liver and kidney failure. You're supposed to be dead.
For every Young Thug or Gunna story that actually comes out, there's several more we'll never know about. It's actually very common for artists to be hospitalized because of drugs, but how they hide it is by blaming it on dehydration and a bunch of other stupid things. So the next time you see a press release or an artist saying they were taken to the hospital because of dehydration, now you know what's really going on.
In the last year, you had several seizures. You had to be hospitalized. What happened?
Dehydration. For dehydration, well, no dehydration. If you look at that article up, it said dehydration. That was cap. You know, that's just good PR. We didn't want to let the world know that 18, 19-year-old Bow was, you know, heavy on the drink, but we was.
There's an interesting kind of cognitive dissonance that happens with the rappers who are addicts. They'll proudly rap about what they do. They'll post about it, glamorize it, making it a part of their whole image. But at the same time, they very much hate being seen as addicts or junkies.
Tell them pop a perk right quick. I'm itching right now.
Are you gonna make it or are you gonna be okay
for sure, man. Come on, I ain't no addict.
If you actually sit them down and ask them directly about their usage, they go out of their way to explain why they're not a junkie and why it's different for them.
Let's talk about drugs again. Let's not call it drugs. When you call it drugs, you make me sound like a crackhead, miss.
Man, I don't want to be a crackhead.
I don't do a lot of drugs. Shit, real drugs are like crack, heroin, and like, you know, meth shit that really get you up, really get you tweaking. If you ain't doing that, then you ain't doing drugs.
I was mad that I'm going through this shit. Like, I got millions in my bank account, and I'm feeling like a J. Honestly, like just being 1,000. Like that ain't me. Like I'm not like that type of nigga. Like.
This is the typical kind of denial you usually see with an addict. And this same kind of denial shows up in an even darker way when someone actually passes away from substance abuse. It becomes this taboo topic that nobody wants to be real about. Take A$AP Yams for example. When he passed, his group for a whole while refused to acknowledge the real reason. They said it wasn't the drugs that killed him, but rather his sleep apnea. Only later did A$AP Rocky come out and speak on the real reason for his friend's untimely demise.
We know our brother died from an overdose, and just like people like Lil Peep and, you know, Mac Miller, rest in peace, you know, it's one of those situations where in hip hop, it's oversaturated with that, and you hear that more common than you hear like, you know, rest in peace XXX, people really being, you know, murdered or something like that. It's a lot of people just dying from overdosing and close to near-death experiences. You hear that a lot, you know what I'm saying? So I've been trying to like kind of chill.
Too often you'll see an artist go on a press run, sit down for interviews, and claim they're finally sober. There are a lot of reasons behind that lie, but a huge part of it comes down to shame.
I only lie when I'm up. And you lie about, there was something in the album where you're like, the last time I said I was sober, I was lying about, You lying about that shit?
I have though. Like on the last rollout, shit, I was like acting like I was past all my demons and shit. I was up the week before.
We tragically saw a version of this with Mac Miller too. In the weeks before he passed, he did a few interviews where he reassured everyone that he was sober and was in a good place. And then just a couple weeks later, he was gone. Mac Miller actually explained this exact feeling perfectly himself before his untimely passing. Most artists who are genuinely struggling will get in front of a camera and lie, mainly to get people to stop worrying and to get everybody off their back.
You get the urge and the itch to tell people, don't worry, I'm okay. Don't worry, I'm okay. Because, you know, like I have people that care about me and fans that love my music, and it's a beautiful relationship with them of people who have been with me through being a 19-year-old wide-eyed kid to being a self-destructive, depressed drug user to all these different stages, and then they see something like that and they worry. So your first reaction is, let me tell them I'm cool.
I think a perfect case study for this is Future. This is a man who's a self-admitted addict in his own songs and interviews.
How much drugs do you actually consume on a regular basis?
Too much. I need to stop now. Because I know my little sons don't listen. I'm about to stop.
As time went on, something changed. At first, he was speaking about it openly, but then eventually he started pushing back against the exact narrative he spent years building around himself.
I'm chilling, man. People gonna look at this interview and gonna swear I'm on drugs. The last time I did Monster, I was sober. Everybody thought I was high. It was like, I ain't gonna speak on the people. You was on drugs, you was this, you had to be high. You was doing this. I was like, I wasn't even high, I'm not high now. There's no drugs over here in London. So it's just like, I don't have to do it. It's not a thing that I have to do. Like, I'm super like, I have to do drugs. Like, I'm sober.
It's cool to rap about it until you actually get married to it, until it becomes who you are in everyone's eyes. And then suddenly, you don't want to be the representative for it anymore. So he started claiming he only rapped about it because it sells, because it's an attraction.
You know what I mean? I'm not like super drugged out, a drug addict. My music may portray a certain kind of image.
But you talk a lot about drugs in your music.
Yeah, because I feel like that's the #1 thing everybody like to talk about. You know what I mean? It's a catch. It's the #1 seller.
I don't talk about drugs in my life.
That's a super messed up thing to say, because now you're the guy pushing a harmful lifestyle onto the youth. A lifestyle you claiming you don't even partake in yourself. But that obviously isn't the case at all.
This nigga was clearly lying.
Future's out here saying, I just rap about drugs because I know it sells. That's what people want to hear. Meanwhile, people are overdosing. What do you guys think about what Vic had to say?
Why does Vic meant to think that Future is only rapping about drugs because it sells?
Because Future said that.
So, by the way, why do we believe it? Because he said it.
At the end of the day, he simply no longer wanted to be seen in that light. This was just him trying to change the narrative, the same way he claimed he'd stop drinking lean, which we saw wasn't true.
But it just came a time where it's just like I'm walking around with 2 cups all the time, all day. Now my day getting more busy. I'm trying to think about the cup. It's just like, it's just the cup. I'm older now. It's like, the cup don't even look right at this point.
Yo,
Me walking around with a cup in my hand all the time.
Future does not want to be seen as a junkie, especially as he got older.
I don't want to be a crackhead. I'm a rock star, I'm a lifestyle. It's so much more than drugs to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm fly, I'm fashion forward with everything. Like, so it's more to me than just drugs.
If you've ever grown up around addicts or had an addict in your family, you know how badly addiction affects people. Not just the person struggling with it, but everyone around them too. Drugs are dangerous because they completely change who a person is, and they destroy even the closest relationships. These rappers who are struggling don't tell you their homes and relationships are in turmoil because of their lifestyle. When you listen to the artists who've tried to get clean, the ones who've been honest about their journey, almost all of them talk about their mothers, how much their addiction was driving a wedge between them and their family. And it's usually a mother that has to see their child going through it.
I had to get all this shit though, man. I was getting too high.
How you shake?
When I see my mama and my grandma cry to me, stop. I'm like, man, cause she said mama faking, you know, I just do skinny hair.
Yeah.
Your loved ones started peeping. Like my mama started telling me, hey boy, I don't like you on this. What this is, and you sleep and you're aggravated and you're not kid, you ain't being my son, you're arguing with nobody in my family liked it, and they just kept saying it, and it started to hurt. Cause I ain't no Jay or nothing, you know what I mean?
I relapsed a while ago. And I was probably high that day.
You were.
How do you know?
Because I know when you're Joey, and I know when you're under the influence of drugs.
Drugs push away everyone from the addict. Some people get tired and unable to deal with watching their loved ones killing themselves. This was slightly highlighted in Lil Wayne's The Carter documentary. His manager and best friend at the time wanted to leave him and the whole operation because of his drug use. He couldn't stand to see Lil Wayne in that state.
That's a hard, because I done been put in situations where I felt like I was ready to walk away. I gave my ultimatum, you know what I'm saying? Then as we was more pissed, it was like, how you gonna walk away from me? You supposed to be my friend, and you know, that's what went on between, and that shit hurts me. Shit hurts me. That's the reason why I don't ride on the bus. I can't be around, I can't look at him in that state for too long because it hurts me, you know what I'm saying? I don't supply it, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I told him, don't ask me to get it.
Of course, Wayne's response to this was filled with anger and denial. This is when a person knows they have a problem but refuses to come to terms with it.
All the motherfuckers that been with me, that ain't gonna ever be with me again, to know I did it for y'all. So when I'm not doing it for you no more, die. Let's start the show.
Everybody trying to talk about the boy on too much drugs and baby need to take him to a rehab. A junkie can't do what the I do. I am the ultimate high. I just want the one that's with me to know it ain't about what I'm on. It's about what I do.
When they do finally decide to try and stop, that's when the real battle actually begins. Because now they have to go through withdrawals. And this is, without a doubt, the hardest part of the whole process. Depending on what they're coming off of, whether it's the lean, pills, or a mix of everything, the withdrawal can look different, but it's brutal no matter which way you look at it.
Everybody want me to stop and all this and all that, but it ain't that easy, bro. It ain't that easy. It felt like death in your stomach when you stop doing it. You gotta learn how to stay, you gotta go through detox.
Like when I first got locked up, like nigga, I used to have nightmares, cold sweats, everything. Like shit, I was going through a detox stage, like of everything though, cause I was on the weed then and the lean. Like every night, I have nightmares, wake up in cold sweat every night for about a month straight.
So I went through a phase, man. When I say 7 days of pain, bro, like I never want to go through that again. Like I don't even remember.
It's taken from me, like a person that's going through it right now, and I'm saying it's not cool. Like it really, your whole life, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I wake up, shit, I need a perk. I need some lean. I need a perk like my body need it. It's crazy. It just controls your life. Feel like you got handcuffs on you for real. You know what I'm saying? You can't escape it.
It's extremely hard to stop using, and unfortunately, it's very easy to relapse. There's this part of Isaiah Rashad and Dominic Fike's conversation that gave me actual chills. Seeing them speak about how their relapse is basically imminent and all they are doing is delaying it was really sad to see. They will forever be dealing with this for the rest of their lives.
My biggest fear is to never be able to get up again.
I mean, I feel you. I keep pushing off my relapse. You feel me?
That's the thing in AA, they say.
Yeah, I keep pushing that bitch off further and further out.
They do that expression, my addiction's doing push-ups. Long inside, like getting weak, it's doing push-ups.
What frustrates me the most is not only are artists not telling the full story about these things, but they refuse to take accountability for the part they've played in pushing it.
I always wanted to drink lean though, because of Lil Wayne though. I was a real impressionable kid, you know? I was like super impressionable.
Lil Wayne is one of the figureheads who a lot of people say it made them want to try and lean, but whenever it's time for him to actually acknowledge the truth, he sounds completely tone deaf about it.
And did you ever think, am I a good role model? You know, am I a good example?
I'm not an example for people on how to live their lives, and never in my life would I ever set out to be an example for people on how to live their lives. If you need an example for how to live, then you just shouldn't have been born.
It ain't nobody's business what's in my cup, what's in your cup, what's in their cup. It's your cup. Drink it. Die. Kill yourself if that's what you want to do. You could be drinking prune juice. Who knows? If I say this is death on ice in my cup, okay, I could be drinking iced tea. You just got fooled. Who's gonna live longer?
He'll go on these tirades about how he's not a role model, how that's not his responsibility. On one hand, he's acknowledging that he did certain things because of his own heroes, the people he looked up to.
I started drinking it because I'm from the South. I was young and I watched Michael Jordan Game 6 and made me want to go right into my driveway and shoot around. Well, I was also young and I listened to Pimp C and they said we drinking that lean. It made me want to drink the lean. So I picked the cup up.
But when it comes to his own fans looking up to him the same way, he wants to separate himself from the fact that kids started picking up the cup because of him. But then he'll gladly take credit for creating an entire generation of Lil Wayne lookalikes. A whole wave of rappers who grew up idolizing him and modeled their whole style after him. That part he'll take. But no, sir, you cannot separate the two.
So I asked you, what was your reason? Or what is your reason? Why do you drink? Why are you drinking syrup? I don't do this to be cool. I did this because I was sick. None has been used. I'm not sick anymore. So I don't want to be known as the innovator of syrup or whatever, or the innovator of getting people fucked up.
This isn't a Lil Wayne thing specifically. Ask every artist about them glorifying drugs and they'll give you the same tone-deaf script.
When you look back, do you ever feel like you glorified that shit a little too much?
Not really. They be like, he's still doing drugs. Like, nigga, like, I didn't say I was a role model. Like,
yeah.
You don't have to do what I'm doing. I'm not LeBron James.
Right.
You keep rapping about doing something over and over again. Your fans feel connected to your every word. They start living through you. This is how you end up with fans showing up to shows, bringing things for their favorite artists, like how Schoolboy Q's fans used to do to him.
But, you know, I remember doing shows and, like, people used to be, like, you know, coming up to me and just always offering drugs to me, like fans and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, so your shit is like, you know, some people, I'm not saying I got him on drugs, but I'm damn no sure not helping him quit. You know what I'm saying?
Chance the Rapper's mixtape, Acid Rap, is another example. I remember watching a clip as a kid where a fan at one of his shows told him he wanted to try acid because of him. Chance immediately told him not to.
That's good, bro. Thanks for fucking coming, dude. Oh, thanks. There you go,
so much. You're 1 year older than me and you're my role model.
You're 19?
You're the shit. I'm dropping us because
Don't do that.
Doing a lot of drugs, like a lot of drugs. If I hadn't had my spirit tugged on, literally, and a calling to become a better version of myself, then I would have died for sure. Then I would just be the representative of acid, and I'm so much more.
I can only imagine that's a hard thing to sit with, realizing how much power you actually have over people, and how badly that power had been misused. For the rappers who actually do try to speak out against this, they usually get clowned or just ignored completely.
We should be able to say what we can say, but then that's fine, but you cannot absolve yourself of the accountability when you have to face the consequence of your actions and when the chickens come home to roost. When Juice WRLD, who did drugs because of you, dies, that is a real moment of reflectiveness that needs to happen within the culture.
I think the shit that these niggas are doing is lame. Like, point blank, taking pills on Instagram, and I don't agree. I don't agree with that shit being done in the first place.
The ones who push back against this backwards culture get labeled as uncool and corny. They get removed from the cool table immediately. I think a lot of these artists do feel some kind of guilt for the part they played in all of this, but they can't let themselves fully sit with that, because doing so would mean actually looking in the mirror, and whatever's staring back at them might be harder to face than the guilt they're already carrying. So instead, they get defensive, dismissive, and super weird about it.
I do be thinking like that I don't want to get bad karma for making like junkies and stuff. I be thinking that because I feel like Lil Wayne get a lot of bad karma for making a lot of us. Like, I feel like Lil Wayne get a bad karma for making like a lot of us into what we are.
So now you say you rap about sobriety intentionally and stuff. Do you feel guilty for that?
I mean, you should a little bit, but not really. I feel guilty, but not really. It's like, oh well, like if you feel some way about it, oh, you should suck a dick, like, you know what I mean? I kind of feel bad, but at the same time, I really don't.
Or maybe they just don't care, as long as the checks keep coming in. I don't know. If that's the truth of it, then I think we're in a lot more trouble than we think.